Hello, so I've decided to make this deck profile for Perfect Raizers as there have been quite a few people asking on Discord how to build the deck and stuff. So, first things first, the boss card and the whole point of this deck, the grade 3 Perfect Raizer. So its effect is, for each Raizer in your soul, it gets 3k, and then if you have 4 or more Raizers in the soul, it gets a crit. So what that means is that if you can get 4 Raizers in the soul, it becomes a natural 23k with a crit on your turn, which is very, very strong because it means that you could deal a potential 4 damage in one turn. So how to get that soul is generally what you would do is you would ride a grade 1 Raizer, a grade 2 Raizer, and then you would hope that you have 2 Raizers in your hand. Or what you can do is you can not use your Forerunner, your Battle Raizer, and then you can also create a Battle Raizer with Perfect Raizer's skill. So naturally you'll be able to get 4 Raizers into Soul. However, I generally like to use my Battle Raizers. I'll talk about that later in terms of like strats into how to play this game, how to play this deck. So going from grade 1s, first we have 4 PGs, obviously, that is a must. And then I only play 7 Raizers, I don't play 8. The reason being, Raizer Custom is actually quite bad as a booster on the rear guard. So if it doesn't go into Soul and you have to use it as a booster, it just doesn't hit those magic numbers that you need to hit past your opponent's Vanguard. So like if you have like a 6k plus a 9k, it's a 15. So if your opponent is an 11k Vanguard, which happens quite often now, you basically can't pass. Whereas if it's a 9k plus a 7k, then it becomes a 16k and you have a magic number. Next we have 4 Burst Raizers. So Burst Raizers I actually find to be quite good. The counter blasts for plus 1k can sometimes come in quite clutch when you need that extra 2k or 3k to hit your magic numbers, whether it be the 16 or the 21. And then I run 2 Clay Dolls. I don't run Toolkit Boy because you need to place that behind Vanguard, and because Perfect Raizer is a 23k if you actually manage to pull the skill off, you don't need anything behind the Vanguard. So Clay Doll means that you can put it behind the rear guards. Moving into grade 2s, we have 4 Trans Raizer and 3 High Custom. So I only play 3 high powered. I only play 3 high powered for the same reason as to why I only play 3 Raizer Customs. It's just not very good in terms of trying to hit numbers. And then 4 Trans Raizer. So Trans Raizer is a very high roll card. You can go Trans Raizer into a grade 1 and you have a great result, or you can Trans Raizer into a grade 3 or a PG. But I mean, the Trans Raizer is definitely the better card compared to high powered because you could +2 off it potentially. And then in terms of the other grade 2s, I play 2 of each. So first we have Brutal Jack. I only play 2 because I have 2. Not sure if I would play more, but having an 11k rear guard is very good because what that means is that your opponent has to commit generally a booster to hit your Brutal. So if they play stands, then that means that they have to stand both their grade 1 and their attacker to be able to hit your Vanguard again once they get past the Brutal Jack intercept. And then I play 2 Death Army Lady because it's good for when you need to hit past an intercept. So you hit an intercept, hope that you trigger, and then it will restand itself, which means you can then attack again, which is important because with Perfect Raizers, if your opponent has a PG, then it basically doesn't do any damage. So you need to be able to hit past intercepts when you can. And then I play 2 Kirara. So I used to play 4 Death Army Lady, but then I realized that this deck, just if you don't hit your draw triggers, you just pretty much lose momentum because you need minimum 2 front row to be able to hit past your opponent's intercepts so that your Perfect Raizer can crit your opponent. So Kirara sometimes can come in quite clutch with that draw, whether it be drawing into a grade 3 or a grade 2, it's just quite good. The reason I only play 2 and not more is because it does cost 2 counterblasts, and you do want to reserve that to get the Battle Raizer, because overall Battle Raizer is better because 1, it can go into the soul to build that skill, and 2, when it goes back into deck, it's a trigger. So, and I only really run 2 counter charges, so yeah, that's why that ratio is there. And then going into grade 3s, obviously you have 4 Perfect Raizers because that is your main ride. If you don't ride Perfect Raizer, the deck kind of loses meaning. And then you have 4 Ashura Kaiser. So Ashura Kaiser is definitely the better backup Vanguard. So I'm sure all of you are aware as to how good Ashura Kaiser was in wave 1, and it still is quite good if you manage to hit your triggers. So it's not bad as a backup Vanguard compared to, you know, Cosmo Lord or Muscle Hercules. And then I play 3 Cosmo Lord. So if I could, I would actually play 4, but I only have 3. I'm not going to craft a Cosmo Lord, so there is that. Cosmo Lord is actually very good in terms of swinging past intercepts and swinging into Vanguard again. So basically, for example, if you have a Brutal Jack, let's say, on one of your on the leftmost front row, and then behind it you have whatever grade 1, or you might have nothing, and then you want to go for game. So you could put down a grade 3 or grade 2 or whatever, and then basically you rest it and Cosmo Lord gets 3k. And then you put something behind your Vanguard, because generally you don't really need a booster behind your Vanguard to hit. So then you rest it again, and Cosmo Lord becomes a 16k. So that means you can pretty much hit magic numbers. So if your opponent has no intercepts, you can go Brutal Jack for an 11k, Cosmo Lord for a 16k, and then if all goes well, Perfect Raizer, you know, for game. So Cosmo Lord is actually quite good in terms of being able to do that. Same with Death Metal Droid, but the thing is, again, Death Metal Droid needs, you can only do it once because it's when the unit attacks, and also it needs a counterblast so that it kind of fights for counterblast with Kirara, Perfect Raizer, and Brutal Jack. So that's why I only play 1. And then I play 1 Muscle Hercules just because I needed something to balance out that 4 heal triggers. And you know, that counter charger is good if you want to use the Kirara, or if you need it for the Jack. So yeah, that is the deck profile here. In terms of strategies, so what you want to ride first and foremost is going to be the custom Raizer custom and the high-powered Raizer custom. Reason being that it gets power when it has Battle Raizer behind it. So obviously, you ride Raizer custom, swing without swinging with your Battle Raizer, so you leave it for your high-powered, and then generally what I try to do is I will swing the high-powered with the Battle Raizer if I can. So going into the Battle Raizer is actually a very, very, very good card because it's a stand. So I have actually won games by being able to stand the Cosmo Lord and then swinging past an intercept. So I always try to put Battle Raizer back into the deck if I can. And then again, when Perfect Raizer creates the Battle Raizer, I generally try to put it back into deck as well. And it's pretty free, like it's almost a cycle because you draw when you put Battle Raizer into your deck. So hopefully you draw it into one of your other Raizers, so be it, you know, a Burst Raizer or a custom or a high powered or a trans, and you can put those down and let Perfect Raizer suck those into soul instead of Battle Raizer. But obviously, you know, depending on the situation, if you need that grade 2 to save your life, then you know you would suck in the Battle Riser. But if you don't need the grade 2 to save your life, then it could be pretty good to put Battle Riser back into your deck, because even if you don't use the trigger to stand, hitting defensives is very important. Like if you hit a defensive as an 11k Vanguard, it could stop 1 or even 2 attacks going through. And then running into triggers, obviously you have 4 heal, and this deck must play 9 draws. Must. As I said, the reason why I play Kiara is because if you don't hit your draw triggers, you run out of steam really fast. And then I've recorded 2 games, so just to show how the deck works, I made sure that, you know, I did go onto Perfect Raizer and use its skill to pretty much win me the game. So if you're interested, continue watching. And our opponent here is, okay, mirror match. So in a mirror match, it's 1 who actually manages to Perfect Raizer and 2 who has more PGs. What does my hand look like? Oh, no P Raizer, but I do need that PG. Oh, Perfect Raizer, good. Please no grade 3. Oh, it's a Blau. Okay, grade 2. Grade 2 is good. So Blau is actually counter to Perfect Raizer, because the thing is, the more damage you give them, the more damage they give back. So basically, if a Blau deck manages to hit some draw triggers, you are pretty much guaranteed to lose. Oh, and they have Toolkit Boy. So Toolkit Boy with Blau is equal to win the game. No draw, please. Oh, PG, that's good to see. Okay, I also lose a PG. Grade 1. Let's see what we hurl into a grade 1. I will take that. So we have 1. Okay, no, should be fine. Because I do want to get into damage if I can. Can I draw, please? Yes, that's good to see. Into Trans Riser, that's pretty good as well. And heal, with heal, that's good to see. And then, what do we have here? Is it a double trigger? No trigger, that's good to see. So, into a second Perfect Raizer, okay. Naturally, Blau Kluger. Another Blau Kluger. Ooh, that card is hard. So 1. Can we get a draw of any sort? No. Okay, let's see if we can get a heal here. Nothing, that's good to see. And a draw, that's very good to see. Into another brutal. Very good to see. I like that. Into another grade 3. Fair enough. So we will do the Perfect Raizer into a Battle Riser. Now here, the question is... I want to keep my grade 2. I do believe. Yes. Into a crit. And then... let's see what we can roll into. Oh my goodness. I mean... I will take that. That's a bit sad though. I think I've lost... okay, I only have 1 PG left in my deck. That makes me very sad, but well, what can you do? Now then, here's to hoping one they don't draw and two they don't heal. PG gone. Heal. That's good. That's very good. Important. Very, very important. Okay. When you see a draw, you're pretty screwed. Ooh, double draw. That is very strong. Into a grade 1. So many cards in hand. Into a Blau. Grade 1. Assuming you have more grade 2s in your hand, surely. So he can stand. Okay, fair. So once, so he can stand twice. So, please no draws. PG, that's good to see. 2 PGs down. Draw. Oh, strong. 3 draws. Okay, that's very strong. Can we get some sort of trigger? Yes, okay. I will take any sort of trigger because it means that that won't hit. Oh, okay. So he's not going to heal. Please no more draws. My. And can we get a draw? No. He might just go again. And he is going to go again. That was very, very lucky driving. Oof. Not looking very good here. So that's probably a PG in his hand. And this is what I mean by Blaus are the counter to P Raizer. Is he going to go again? He might, because if he hits a trigger, he'll win. Oh wow, okay. That's good, thank you. That is very OP here. Oof. I am probably going to die. I have 2 more heals in deck, but... So here, gonna use the Cosmo Lord just because I can. And then... Actually, I can hit that, and then that can hit that. I'm gonna be banking on some stands here. The chances are very slim though. And then again. Let's see, what do we get? Draw. To draw. Oh! That is good to see. Is that a PG? It's not a PG. 1, 2. Oh, nice. I don't think he can heal anymore. Okay, that is very high roll. He high rolled me and then I high rolled him back. So I think that match showed the power of Blau more than P Raizer, but still, that crit definitely won me the game. He was pretty greedy, so I think it would have paid off if he triggered again, but I did have a perfect guard in my hand, so That was a pretty good game. That was a very, very good game. Okay, and our opponent is Royal Paladins. Now then, I wonder if this is Galahad, Garmor. We are going first. How's our hand looking? Oh, no grade 2s, so generally I like to keep a PG just in case the opponent plays Galahad, because in a game where it's crit on Vanguard versus crit on Vanguard, it's basically who has more PGs kind of wins. So I got my grade 2, which is very good. Okay, that might be a wave 1 deck. Interesting. Drawn into 2 grade 3 so far, which is not a good sign, but here's to hoping for some better games. Here comes a Flogel. Oh no, wait, never mind. Here comes a Liu. Interesting. Okay, so he's looking to... Interesting. Do we trigger? Guess not, considering we did draw 2 grade 3s. And draw. No, that is a PG down. Okay. And we have Trans. Trans Raizer is good to see. Let's see what we come into. Oh, Death Army Lady. Not bad, not bad. So... PG, that's what we want to see. And then, oh, draw trigger, nice. Into another grade 3. Fair enough. So let's get rid of the grade 1. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to Superior Ride. Wait, no, that can't happen because he doesn't have the flow. Okay. So do you have a Blaster Blade in hand to ride? Look at them glorious grade 3s, though. Okay, so he is going to Superior Ride. Cancel. Oh, wait. Yep, okay, Superior Ride. There, so he has a BB in hand. Let's see though, do you have other grade 3/grade 1s to put on the board to get rid of... Interesting. Okay. What do we draw? Okay, grade 2 is good to see. Perfect Raizer into a Battle Raizer. Well, I'll take those. There is our crit. Now, because I don't have back row, it's not the best. That's 14k. Okay, so I'm going to play risky here and see if I can do 4 damage. Oh my goodness. Ah, my goodness. I didn't realise that was Fat Finger. I was meant to go for Cosmo Lord. Goodness me. Goodness me. Okay, well then. Oh, and he heals. Well, that wouldn't have made it anyway. So, here's our crit. Draw. Draw is very important. But of course, naturally, it's going to be a grade 3, always. And 1, and a 2. Cool. And we get a grade 2 finally. That's good. King of Knights. Okay, so he's probably going to start spamming board. Yep. Blaster Blade. So do you want to get rid of the grade 3 or the grade 2? Most likely the grade 2 so that he can slap some face. Yep, fair enough. Here we go. And then I'm assuming we're going to see some more board here. Yep, grade 2. Counterblast for that, grade 1. Okay, so I can take 2 damage, pretty much. And it's a drop, okay, so he'll have to trigger into a grade 2, that's good at least. Let's see, does he trigger? 1 and 2, no! That is very good for us. Lucky defensive. Defensives are important. Okay, so game on. And back to Battle Raizer. Fair enough. So here the problem is we have no back row. But depending on whether or not he has a perfect guard. We could just win right here, so let's see how we go. So, Battle Raizer here. So let's see how we go. He has 4 cards, so it's very likely that he does have a PG. And let's see how we go here. Okay, draw. That's good to see. Into a PG, that's very good to see. Now then, yep, he has a PG, fair enough, considering that hand. And a grade 1, finally, that's good to see as well. So we have 2 PGs, grade 2, a bunch of grade 3s. Hand's not too bad. Now the question is, how many PGs does he have? That was 1 PG down. Palamedes, okay. No intercepts, that's good. Oh, okay. And that's no intercepts again, very good. So I can take maximum of 2 damage here. Now then, I wonder if that's a oh, okay. So that might not be a PG if he's choosing to attack the side. 1 and 2. So what do we have here? Grade 2. Oh, that's fine. What do we draw? Raizer. Okay, so I do want to be able to hit base though, so I'm going to play a bit high roll and see how we go. Grade 1, okay. That is important. So then we go here, like that. So let's see if that's a PG or not. Draw, trigger is good to see. So then that is not a PG. Okay, do you? Okay. So I can still. No, I can't hit. Oof. Okay, that is a bit sad. So that heal basically helped him live. In that case, I'm going to have to get rid of some retards. I'm still okay though, because I have 1 damage, 2, so he'll have to hit past 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so he'd have to hit 5. which is very high. Alfred early, okay, so he's gonna blast a blade. The question is, did you draw into a PG? Fair enough. So then he'll need to go one. Okay. So that's one. Can I get a trigger? No. Well, I think that was fairly unlikely. I have 3 triggers in deck only. 1. Oof. Sad. If that's a PG, I'll be very sad. 2. Good. Fair. And then last damage. Now that he has 2 more heals in deck, I really hope he doesn't heal anymore, because that would be very sad indeed. So I'm going to, in favor of, no, I need to go all out here if I want to have a chance. So that's 13, 20. Okay, so for safety measures, let's see, is that a PG? No, it's not a PG. Do you heal? No 6 deal. Okay, and that is game. So, I hope that helped for those of you that wants to play Perfect Raizers and didn't know how to build the deck, or if you are playing Perfect Raizer already and want to try a different build. This deck has served me quite well, as I'm currently Legend 13, and I've ranked half with this deck, and the other half with Skewing. If anyone actually watched this and is interested, I might make a Tsukiyomi deck guide too. If you want to hear me talk some more, I made a pack opening video where I cracked 187 packs, which I've linked in the description. So, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I hope you run into many VP farmers on your climb.